Welcome back to the channel. If you own a Porsche, whether it's a brand new 992 GT3 RS, a water-cooled 997 Carrera, or a classic air-cooled 911, you probably take immense pride in keeping it spotless. Washing your car on a weekend morning feels like a therapeutic ritual. You grab your buckets, spray down the wheels, work up a rich lather, and finish with a nice coat of wax or spray sealant. It feels like you're preserving your investment. But here is the brutal truth that most owners don't realize until it's far too late. The vast majority of cosmetic damage inflicted on high-end Porsches doesn't happen on the racetrack or during daily highway commutes. It happens right in the driveway during the first 20 minutes of a standard wash routine, or inside a detailing bay where someone gets a little too aggressive with a polishing pad. Today, buyers are more meticulous than ever. Digital auction platforms like Bring a Trailer, strict pre-purchase inspections, and Porsche Club of America Concours judging standards mean that non-mechanical cosmetic flaws carry massive financial penalties. A single detailing mistake can instantly strip 10 to 30% off your vehicle's market value or land you with a repair bill exceeding $25,000 at auction time. Today, we are breaking down the 5 most common detailing mistakes that are quietly destroying your Porsche's resale value, how physical and chemical damage occurs, and exactly how to clean your car like an investment-grade collector. Let's start with what is easily the most expensive detailing mistake on modern Porsches: using off-the-shelf acidic or heavy fallout wheel cleaners on cars equipped with Porsche Ceramic Composite Brakes, commonly known as PCCBs, or on specialty factory wheel finishes like satin aurum, platinum, or dark anodized surfaces. PCCBs are multi-thousand-dollar factory option, easily recognizable by their signature bright yellow calipers. They offer incredible stopping power and generate almost no functional brake dust on the road. Yet owners and inexperienced detailers still grab heavy-duty iron fallout removers or acidic wheel cleaners, mistaking light road film for stubborn brake dust. Here is what happens on a microscopic level when you do that. Acidic cleaners induce micro-pitting directly into the porous carbon-silicon carbide matrix of ceramic rotors. Meanwhile, iron fallout removers contain reactive chelation agents like ammonium thioglycolate. When sprayed near the brakes, these chemicals seep into the tiny space between the brake pad and the metal backing plate. The chemical reaction causes the brake pad material to chemically bond to the rotor face after the car sits dry. The next time you put the car in gear, the force needed to break that stuck pad free can literally chip or crack the ceramic friction layer on the surface of the rotor. A single chipped ceramic rotor fails a pre-purchase inspection instantly. You cannot simply turn or resurface a damaged ceramic brake rotor like a cheap steel disc. You have to replace it. A full set of 4 replacement ceramic rotors will easily cost you $20,000 to $25,000, parts and labor. Some owners try to dodge this cost by converting the car back to steel rotors before selling, but savvy purists will immediately discount the car's resale value because it no longer retains its rare factory options. On top of that, these same high alkaline degreasers strip away delicate satin clear coats on wheels, like satin aurum, leaving behind hazy white spots and peeling finishes that cost upwards of $2,000 to refinish. The fix here is ridiculously simple. If your Porsche has PCCBs or satin wheels, toss out the harsh wheel cleaners entirely. PCCBs only require pH-neutral car wash soap, warm water, and a soft microfiber mitt. Our second mistake comes from good intentions gone wrong: machine polishing your paint without using a paint thickness gauge. Everyone loves mirror-like, swirl-free paint, and paint correction is standard pre-sale preparation, but original factory paint is a non-renewable resource on a Porsche, and over-polishing is one of the quickest ways to erase its value. To understand why this is so dangerous, you need to know how thin factory paint actually is. A standard modern Porsche paint stack, straight from the factory, measures between 100 and 130 microns total thickness. That is roughly 4 to 5 mils, or about the thickness of a single Post-it note. Out of that total stack, the clear coat, which is the transparent protective top layer, is only about 35 to 65 microns deep. When a detailer grabs a heavy rotary polisher, an aggressive wool cutting pad, and a harsh compound to shave away scratches, they are physically removing clear coat material. Over the entire life of a vehicle, you should never remove more than 7 to 12 microns of clear coat. Polishing beyond that strips away vital UV inhibitors concentrated in the top half of the clear coat. Once those inhibitors are gone, your paint rapidly oxidizes, fades, and eventually suffers complete clear coat failure or a full strike-through down to the base color coat. Now here is a mind-blowing fun fact for you. Original factory paint is held in such high regard in the Porsche community that a rare 1973 Porsche 911T in sepia brown was studied and held by a high-end specialist shop for an entire year as a master blueprint for future restorations, simply because its original factory-applied paint was completely intact and verified by judges. When collectors and PPI inspectors evaluate a Porsche today, they use digital paint thickness gauges that measure electromagnetic fields on steel panels and eddy currents on aluminum panels like hoods and doors. If the gauge shows a reading below 75 microns, the clear coat has been dangerously thinned, making future correction impossible. If it reads over 200 microns, it reveals that the panel was repainted at a body shop to hide damage or strike-throughs. Repainted panels can trigger a 10 to 30% discount on auction platforms like Bring a Trailer, compared to cars with verified 100% original factory paint. Always demand that your detailer map your paint before touching a polisher to your car. Mistake number 3 surrounds paint protection film, or PPF. PPF is fantastic for defending vulnerable front bumpers and hoods against flying gravel and stone chips on high-speed back-road drives. But treating PPF like a permanent fixture rather than a consumable protection barrier is a massive trap. Thermoplastic polyurethane film has an effective service life of roughly 5 to 7 years. As the film sits under intense heat and UV rays, the pressure-sensitive adhesive layer underneath undergoes chemical cross-linking with your car's clear coat. By year 8 and beyond, the adhesive and clear coat effectively fuse into a single layer. When owners notice old, yellowed, or cracking film and try to peel it off cold in their garage or yank it straight up at a 90-degree angle, they create massive vertical shear stress. That vertical force tears the clear coat right off the panel, leaving bare metal or primer exposed. On the flip side, grabbing a high-temperature heat gun without watching surface temps can easily exceed 200 degrees Fahrenheit, burning the melted adhesive directly into the clear coat pores and scorching the panel. Fixing a clear coat delamination caused by bad PPF removal requires a full panel repaint at a cost of $1,500 to $3,000 per panel. Another common installation error is hand-cutting film directly on the vehicle. Inexperienced installers who use razor blades over the paint often score deep lines through the clear coat along body edges and badges. You won't see it while the film is installed, but once it's off, those score lines expose the substrate to moisture and rust, destroying panel integrity. Always ensure aged film is removed professionally using low-pressure steamers at 120 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, pulling the film back flat against itself at a 45-degree angle. Our fourth mistake revolves around daily maintenance washing habits that drag abrasive dirt particles directly across delicate clear coat surfaces. Soft, non-metallic Porsche paint shades like Solid Black, Speed Yellow, and Guards Red are notoriously soft and sensitive to light scratches. When you wash your car using a single wash bucket or wipe down paint using a dirty chamois leather or low-quality drying towel, you aren't removing dirt. You are grinding sand, grit, and industrial fallout across the surface like sandpaper. This mechanical friction creates micro-marring and deep networks of swirl marks. Under direct sunlight, these microscopic V-shaped gouges disrupt light reflection, making a vibrant finish look dull, hazy, and aged. This directly impacts your wallet in two major ways. First, removing deep swirl networks requires aggressive machine polishing, which shaves away that precious, finite clear coat we talked about earlier. Second, if you enter your car in Porsche Club of America Concours d'Elegance events, judges use a strict 100-point deduction scorecard. Visible towel drag lines, swirl networks, and micro-marring automatically trigger 2.0 to 5.0 point deductions under point source inspection lighting. Even on public auction sites, swirled-out paint signals general neglect to bidders, who will routinely subtract $2,000 to $4,000 off their bids to cover the cost of corrective detailing. To avoid this, adopt a strict 2-bucket wash routine with grit guards, use high lubrication foam pre-soaks, and dry the car using air blowers or ultra-plush, high GSM microfiber towels. Finally, mistake number 5 involves applying improper chemical formulations to specialized interior leather, trim, and historical finishes. Porsches use unique materials across generations, and applying generic high-gloss detailing store products can permanently alter them. Take classic air-cooled 911s, for example. They feature forged Fuchs wheels with anodized lips and anodized aluminum window trim. Anodizing is an electrochemical oxide layer, not a clear coat or bare metal. If you use metal polish, chrome cleaner, or acidic compounds on anodized trim, you strip that oxide layer away, leaving raw aluminum that turns chalky, cloudy, and corroded. Restoring ruined anodized window trim requires stripping down the vehicle interior and paying thousands of dollars for custom re-anodizing. Inside the cabin, modern Porsches feature low-sheen, natural Napa leather across the dashboard and seats. Applying cheap petroleum-based leather conditioners or shiny silicone dressings clogs the leather's natural pores, traps heat, and causes seams to crack. Concours judges and serious collectors dock points immediately for shiny, greasy leather because factory Porsche leather is designed to look smooth and completely matte. Lastly, stay away from blasting heavy solvents or aggressive degreasers inside door jambs, front trunks, or engine compartments. Over-degreasing washes away original factory Cosmoline rust protection, erases historic inspector chalk marks, and dries out rubber wiring harness boots. Preserve factory assembly coatings by using gentle steam cleaning and mild pH-balanced interior cleaners instead. Preserving your Porsche's resale value isn't about wrapping the car in bubble wrap and leaving it stuck in a garage forever. It's about practicing smart, informed preservation methods to keep original factory finishes in peak condition. Always measure paint thickness before polishing. Keep harsh wheel cleaners away from PCCBs. Replace protective film before year 7. Use proper 2-bucket washing techniques, and treat natural materials like anodized aluminum and Napa leather with gentle pH-neutral care. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever inspected your Porsche with a paint thickness gauge or discovered a detailing mistake from a previous owner? Which of these 5 detailing mistakes surprised you the most? Drop a comment down below and let's start a discussion. If you found this guide helpful, hit that like button, share this video with your fellow Porsche enthusiasts, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Porsche buying guides, valuation analyses, and ownership tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.